Good evening, everyone. Just as I start, all of the dogs get up and start moving around and start barking at things. So we will see how this goes. Twitch is telling me that the stream is unstable, so that's great. OBS is telling me it's okay. So again, we'll see how we get on and how well everything works. It's a bit of a random setup. So I have my laptop where I would normally have my laptop for gaming. Next to me, I have a portable monitor that I just got for doing this. That's on my right hand side with my microphone. And then on my left, I have my mobile phone, which is acting as a stream deck through the app. And yeah, I've just realized I've got the fan going still, and that's probably going to be a bit annoying. So we'll switch that off as well. And yeah, we'll see how we get on. So who knows? This may not work very well. So evening, Marnox, Pete, Mark, Bill, Bavarian Redneck. Wow. There seem to be 11 people here, which is kind of scary for for me sitting randomly playing on my laptop. The theory is that I'm kind of going to use this is a brand new save, started on New Farmer, and the theory is I'm kind of going to play this for a bit of fun occasionally when I do this, because quite often Mrs. D goes to bed very early, and it's very random when she does, so I can't plan these, but if we can, we'll do them. So this is REHBACH, something like that. Apologies for the pronunciation. It's a really nice little map from the creator of Furling, which is one of my favorite maps. So I thought I'd give this one a go. And the really nice thing is there's a really nice little sheep farm up here. Let's bung flight mode on. And weirdly, in fact, all of the farms come with animals installed. So that's kind of animals installed, animals brought, let's say that. So that's kind of fun, I guess, to start off with. The plan is to buy the sheep farm and these two fields and maybe this grass field here. The kind of funky thing is that this farm comes with its own fabric production. So yeah, that's cool, Marks. It's I've played like 14 minutes. I actually played a little bit more than that because I did a fair bit of exploring the map to see which farm I wanted to buy. But so we're on New Farmer, so kind of medium difficulty, and I thought that'd be a nice easy one to play on. Basically, I kind of like the fact it's set up for grazing. That's going to give the sheep a bit of a jump start, because I have got Maze Plus enabled. I think I've got Animal Food Editions enabled. I actually set this save up a week ago, but didn't have everything else set up last week. So yeah. Hey Cass, how you doing? Good to see you, buddy. I think I mentioned you in a video this week. That may or may not have come out yet. Anywho, let's buy some stuff, shall we? Because we're not making any progress. Just sat here yakking away. So what I like is that the land is not stupidly expensive. So 134 for the farm, 148 for this rather large field, which I think is wheat. And the plan with that is we will make some whole crop silage from it for feeding the sheep, and we will combine some of it for selling, I guess. And then 64 is a grass field, and I think 47 had canola in it, which will kind of be a cash crop for now, so we can buy some of the other things we might be missing. So yeah, that's that done. So yeah, if we go and have a look, it's around here. Basically, I think today probably I'll just end up setting things up and buying stuff. I have not altered anything on here yet. It's just as standard. So if there are any surprises, you can let me know. If I randomly go quiet and switch to the be right back screen, that's because one of the dogs is doing something like having a drink or a wash, shall we say. So yeah, there's this spinnery here. We have our own production, which is, I think, very cool. So we're going to turn it off right now. Too many mute buttons. As I said it, stupid dog got up, went and had a very noisy drink. So yeah, evening, Chris. Yeah, so and I haven't edited anything on the map at all yet. I don't even think I have a fermenting silo on this bit of the farm. Don't know. As this is probably a production, I would guess not. But I really like that we've got this little spinnery because it means we can make some cash, which I thought would be quite difficult with a small sheep farm. So being able to make fabric for ourselves is going to be quite cool. So there's that. I haven't really looked around much of the rest of the farm. I think that's where the wool spawns. That makes sense. We have a hay loft, so that might be kind of useful. I'm not sure. I'll probably bale stuff. Let's say this pasture supports grazing, which is good. So, and doesn't need water, so they should graze when we pass the hour. Let's close that. Open that one. So that's a nice big shed for storing all our stuff. Looks like I can only open the door from the outside. That's kind of, oh, it's a hayloft thing up there as well. That's kind of cool. Close that one. Beep trigger, I guess. Yeah, that one openable. So that's our little farm. Production speeds can always be improved. So I'm guessing at the moment we only have 10 sheep. So we're probably going to be producing wool very slowly anyway. So that possibly won't be an issue. So we've got £800,000 to get the rest of our kit, which is a fair bit, isn't it, for a small farm? So once I buy some stuff and we do a bit of work, I'll get you guys to check the game sound as well. And we're going to use something that I've never used before. I'm pretty sure anyway. I would quite like, and if we've got the spare cash, we might get a REHBACH electric. But what we're actually going to get is all the way over here, the REHBACH SKH60. So that's a whacking 68 horsepower. Kind of really weird looking little, I guess, kind of tractor for this sort of farming. So yeah, the stream seems to be running very, very far behind where I am. So that's kind of weird. So I'm going to wait until you guys tell me you see me buy a tractor, I think, and I'm just going to refresh my Twitch window while I do that. Or not, because that seems like quite a long lag period. So hopefully I'm still here. So what I think I want to be doing is I'm going to be a bit cheaty with feeding the sheep at first, and I think we're going to do some conditioned grass bales because it's kind of the easy way to feed sheep. So rather than doing a load of buying all of the kit, I think just trying to remember. It was quite a while ago that I set all this up. So we do not have precision farming. Okay, so that's okay. That's kind of weird. Very weird. Very weird not having precision farming. And Yep, no precision farming. I really need to work out if there's a way of bring the game back up as well and see if that is any better. It should now be 30 FPS, although Twitch is saying 60 FPS, which is kind of weird. So OBS is not saying it's overloaded, which is good. I've switched off local recording, which might help. But we'll see how that goes. I'm going to just refresh my end again on Twitch and see if things start to behave. So, oh wow, that definitely looks more responsive to me. So, what I was saying during that slideshow for all of you was, I think rather than buying all of the kit, I might get some mowers. Or a mower. I don't think we'll be able to get mowers. Mow this grass and bale it for some conditioned grass for some cheaty food initially for the sheeps. Or at least some of it. Or, hey, you can have input on this because they're going to graze. Because once I get time moving a bit, let's get time moving a bit. They will graze off of this, so that will feed them. That is good news, everyone. Thank you. That kind of why I didn't really announce this too widely, because I expected there would be problems. The other option is we rely on grazing, and because there's only 10, something like that, and I make hay, and we plan to do it properly. Because we're going to need, I think we are going to do, for protein silage, we will do whole crop. Roughage will be hay. Moisture food, if we can pick up a root crop contract, that would be good. And power food, we'll either buy something, or if we can get a, if we combine some of the wheat, then I can get the grain mill, which will let me mill the wheat to be grain grist. So maybe we should be less cheaty. And I'm just going to speed time up. So that should have grazed the sheep. Yep. So they'll be good with that amount of food. So looks like we're doing hay. So, and that's partly why I brought this tractor, because I thought it would be fun to, let's just quickly check the sales. This is where I find one of these is in the sales. It's much better that I can actually ask you stuff and you see and respond. See, that's in the sales. That's so frustrating. And that's slightly more powerful. Oh well. So what I'm thinking is we get something like this. That is in the sales. Bargain. So let's... Everything we need is in the sales. As long as the maths adds up. So we have 75 horsepower. So 45. Yep, the maths adds up. So my plan is to do one pass hay. So and kind of the theory with this is I want to do stuff that I don't normally do. A bit like I've been doing on some of the other stuff. So the other thing that I've got installed, I don't actually even know where it's going to appear in the store. Might be in forklifts, is I've got this guy installed. Because I thought this would be really cool for moving the pallets of wool from where they spawn to the production area. I thought that'd be kind of fun. I wanted to use the pallet jack that's on Mod Hub, but I didn't think that came with its own special palettes, and I was worried that that wouldn't work very well. So anyway, first question is, how loud is the tractor? Is it loud enough or not? And you can comment on that as I run to the end of the field and get set up. Because I have buttons, because I have a fake Stream Deck, which is my mobile phone, to adjust it without having to turn the game off, which I was quite proud of setting up today. So we are going to head straight to hay, I'm afraid. Well, maybe you need a quieter PC, Marnox. That's all I'm going to say. Get yourself some Noctua fans. Then your PC won't be louder. Your PC is possibly more powerful as well. So, you know, there is that. My laptop clearly isn't. It's, yeah. It's quite eye-opening, actually, because, you know, in theory, this is quite a powerful laptop. It's got a 3080 in it. And every time I've tried to stream off it, it's always been an issue. And to give you guys an idea, I've created a second copy of the game. So the game is running at 1080p because I didn't want to try and downscale it from 1440p. Because I thought that would work better. It hopefully is not as slideshow as it looks. I know it's not. It's nowhere near the same as the desktop 3080, but it's still a good laptop GPU. And yeah, I've not turned down the game graphics settings. Maybe that's the next step if this doesn't work particularly well. But OBS isn't throwing me any warnings now. Twitch is telling me that the stream quality is better, so I can actually see moving pictures, which is better. So hopefully there'll be some okay feedback from people and we will progress. It's really weird. I tested it last night. I set up a dummy account on Twitch to test so that no one saw, and it all looked fine, but I didn't do it for very long, and maybe that was the problem. I only streamed for like a couple of minutes, and maybe that was the issue. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, yes, something different. And that's been the whole thing with Farm Sim lately for me, is doing stuff that's different, because some of the other stuff's got a bit boring. Because we need something new, and we've got, eventually, so obviously I missed the stream on Thursday with Paul, and I haven't got a chance to watch the replay yet. I was planning to do it today, but we ended up watching a couple of Marvel films instead. So probably going to watch it tomorrow. So I don't know what he told everyone about what's coming. I know when we did the first return stream, he, I believe, gave an indication of when Terra Life would be coming. But I'm not going to say, because I don't want to jinx it if he didn't, but I think he did. So that's kind of cool. We've got that coming. That's going to be really good. Although I haven't watched the English stream that he did, I did tune in to the first. Okay, the working width is slightly wrong, so I guess it's oh, Pete. Oh, Peter. You had to go and upset the moderators, didn't you? Let you have that one. So we need to reduce the working width to the width of the mower. What was the width of the mower? Width of the mower is only 2.6. Okay. Might have to get a wider mower at some point. But it was cheap, so Please show me the lines as well. There we go. Alright, yep. Yeah, so I did watch one of the bits of the first German one that they did, because I was quite excited to see what they were showing off, because I've not really seen any of it yet, and I saw them showing off Bavarian Redneck's new animal models, if he's still here, or whether he went away when everything died, or went all slideshowy. They looked very cool. They looked very cool, and the bit that I really liked on top of that was the many crop growth states, and I don't know if Paul shoot any of that on the English one, but it's in the German ones. So what that covered was filling in, I think anyway, I didn't understand the voiceover, but I think it fills in a lot of the gaps. So rather than having like 4 visual growth states, you get many, which is really nice. So yep, makes the game look much better when different crop growth states look different, not the same. So I probably won't be there next week either. We've got some stuff to do as well in the real world. So but hopefully the week after things will be more back to normal. So and I'll be back. Depending on when the teenager goes back to uni, I might be able to do the Friday. So whether I can chat to Paul and we will maybe shift it, I don't know. He did ask about doing that this week, but I couldn't commit to anything this week because I didn't really know. And that's why I didn't mention doing this to anyone, because if Mrs. D was still awake, I wouldn't be doing this. And actually, she went to bed really early last night, but I had a pounding headache, and I curled up in a ball on the chair and watched YouTube. So, you know, actually, I curled up in a ball on the chair and watched YouTube and did baling contracts on Valley of the Old Farm. So, bit of a spoiler there for after the video you'll see next week, because I've been on a bit of a binge of playing that one. So there were two so there's a video on Thursday and Friday, I think. Yeah, I did Thursday and Friday on Valley, and there's a video on Monday as well on Valley the Old Farm. And it's quite a weird one for me. Well, it's not, and it is and it isn't. It is and it isn't. So I won't spoil it too much, but things look a bit different by the middle of that video. Yeah. And yeah, with this stuff, there might be, I might do one tomorrow. It depends if A, how I feel, B, how Mrs. D feels. If she goes to bed really early and I feel okay, I might do one. A bit like I did before. I might do some in the week now. I know this works. Actually, I won't this week, because this week coming up is going to be mental. So yeah, this week coming up is going to be very, very busy. I might not even get that many actual videos made. So I've made a video, 2 videos for Monday. So there's a Timberborn video on Monday, and there's a Valley of the Old Farm video on Monday. There's an Expeditions video on Tuesday. A little bit out of sync. I think there's a Timberborn video for Wednesday done, and there might be a Glenlarthen video on Wednesday, because I've started recording that, but I don't know if I'm going to get it finished or not, because I have quite a lot going on next week. So got to drive into London twice next week, which is going to suck. apparently I am unstable again. So hopefully things are not so unstable. And hopefully somehow I can stitch things back together. I would like to try and send this to YouTube as well. But we'll see. We will see. I probably don't need to do any more headlands because this thing turns quite well. And we are going to need a windrower. And we have 75 horsepower. I'm guessing I'm not going to get lucky in the sales for that. It's weird seeing fertilizer in the sales. Nope. No windrower in the sales. So I'll wait until I've turned around, I think. I don't think I can get another visit into the store. Should probably have repaired this. I guess it's because we bought the mower and stuff used, didn't we? It's okay. That doesn't matter so much, actually. Yeah, I don't think... I'm not sure we could run... We could run the batwing mower. That would probably be good for making silage, wouldn't it? Maybe not, actually, because we'd have to drive over the crop first. We'll probably have to put probably have to mow the silage with that. Because otherwise we'll be destroying crop, I suspect. But someone keep an eye on me not crashing, please. We've got the Samas we could probably just about run. We probably can't run that, actually. 3.5 meters is going to suck. I think we could probably do the Vermeer as well. 8.5 meters. That would be quite nice. Maybe get the Vermeer. That would make baling afterwards much more tolerable. Thanks, Pete. Well timed. And then we're going to need a baler. And I'm thinking maybe we don't have enough horsepower. We might need to get a bigger tractor. Because I would like to make... I don't want to buy that. We always use that one. I'm just thinking, actually, we probably don't want to make big bales, do we? Because if I make big bales, it's going to be really hard to feed the sheep. Yeah, we probably want to make smaller bales, actually. So maybe I am okay with this little tractor. I am not making HD bales off this field. It would be a nightmare. Yeah, maybe we go for... We don't have enough horsepower to run even those, though. Can we run... No. Can we run the class one? We can run the class one. I think we're going to have to get that one. I think we're going to have to get that. Because if I make them any bigger than that... Unless... Are you still here, Marnox? And do you know how big the hayloft is? Because the other option is we get a loading wagon, I guess. And chuck it in the hayloft. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. There are very nice cow farms on here. So it will shock you, I'm sure, to know that one of my goals is the cow farm that sits just down here. I think it's there. In fact, just in front of us, there is a really nice little cow farm. So, But I wanted to do something different and not just start out buying another cow farm. Yeah, I thought this was kind of cool. Yeah, maybe we should go hayloft. I'm going to ask you a lot again. Do you think bales or loose? Two votes for loose. That's enough for me. Was there sense? I guess we've got that one would work. That one would work on our little tractor. Oh, did I? I did install some Rainers, Crone ones as well. They would work. We have options. We have options. We have plenty of options actually because I've got DLCs installed. So maybe we could do something completely different. Because we've got nearly 700 grand left as well. So, and we've got quite a lot of barn space for storing kit. So maybe we buy something else to pick up the hay. That might be more interesting. What I'm thinking, I'm not sure what category it comes under. Is it under trucks? No. Is maybe you from the hay and forage pack. I'll have a look at that in a bit. This is kind of what I do between recording stuff. I'm always jumping in and out of the store and menus and all sorts of stuff. Because my brain is usually quite active and needs to be kept busy. When we finish this, assuming I'm somewhat still functional, I'll probably be headed back to Glenarden because I'm partway through recording the next video on there, and I've just done rather a lot of shopping and have some new toys to play with. So that could be fun. Can I? Yeah. I wonder what section that's in. If it's not in trucks. Harvesters? Wouldn't be in harvesters, would it? No. Miscellaneous. Okay. We'll turn around and we'll have a look at what else it can have. Because that might be quite a fun general use vehicle to have. And it's another one that I've never used before, so. Come on. Reverse, please. Thank you. Right. Miscellaneous. Combinations. So we can either have a 2,500 litre dipper or a 14,000 litre pickup wagon. Okay. And we can have silage additive. Interesting. I guess I'm still going to need to bale the silage unless we put a silage. We could put a silage clamp at the top of the grass field actually, because this is going to be way bigger than we need. And I know a mod that's really cheap for making silage in, so. So it's kind of weird starting with £1.5 million actually. I was debating on the guy who made those fermenting silos is a bit of a grumpy arse, particularly at the moment. And I'm using those on other stuff as well. So I think some sort, maybe even just the one from Maze Plus would be good. The little one from Maze Plus, because I only want to make a small amount, because at the moment I've only got a few sheep. And I don't think that I can hold that many sheep, so... And I've completely just lost my train of thought. Yep, completely gone. Completely gone. Hopefully you can't hear the washing machine going, which is running in the kitchen as well. I am super impressed that all of the other things that are in the room with me that I'm not going to mention have all gone to sleep. Which is really good. Because I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that. I thought they might be a bit of a pain. Because they quite often can be if I'm... She's upstairs. She's upstairs, Mark. And yeah, I could hear her sleeping earlier, so... Usually, that's because I make sure they're edited out, because they sound disgusting. I have, in the last month or so, done a fair bit of recording voice down here. And if one of them goes to get a drink or does other stuff with their tongues, I will edit it out, because it sounds absolutely disgusting. So that's generally why you won't hear them, even if they're in the same room. And the same with, I usually try and edit out any barking, because I don't like it when I hear it. Like if I'm listening to a Mr. CDP video, particularly if I'm listening to a Mr. CDP video in the room with my own four-legged friends and Bomb Dog barks, then they go nuts. My own ones go a little bit crazy. So yeah, it's like if we're watching TV and it has barking on it, they enjoy that as well. So I usually try and make sure I take it out. Unless I forget, which happens sometimes. I am far, far from perfect. Apart from Twitch telling me that I'm very unstable, everything else seems to be behaving, so... That's good. Except Pete. Yeah. It's funny, I was looking through settings before I started, and I actually turned up the auto moderation to high. And Pete upset it, you know? I know you could have, Mark, but I think it's probably nice that a third party tells me that, rather than someone, you know, rather than people that I consider friends. I'll let an impartial third party tell me. It's less offensive that way. I can imagine that a certain alien was using that word rather a lot in his streams. So, and it's not a word that offends me. It just amused me that the auto moderation picked it up. But it was a suggestion that I've had in the past to have it set high and then deal with it, rather than have it set low and let things slip through that you maybe don't want to. So it's fine when it's just you guys, but if we swap back at some, you know, when I'm less insanely busy, if we swap back to me doing the Terra Life streams, then they'll be a little bit busier. There'll be more than 10 or 11 of you here, and then it'll be better to have the moderation turned up a little bit. So, particularly as I assume it will recognise words in languages that I don't. we doing full time? Not too bad. I'm not sure how long the slideshow was at the start, so. It is a very nice map. I struggle on how to pronounce his name. Because it's KA77E. I'm guessing that's something like kale or case or something like that. I'm not sure. Pronunciation's hard. Kale, that's it. Thank you, Marnux. I know I'm sure you and Smock have told me before from when I was playing on Furling. He does make very pretty maps, I think. Small, but maps that I like. And Joker's up and moving. Are we going to get a drink? No, we're looking for somewhere new to lay down. Oh well, I'm sure he'll find a new spot, which will probably be one of the 2 or 3 spots he actually lays down in. We had to have a little drink and a little wander around, and he laid down in exactly the same spot. He's old. He's dementia dog. So, can't really complain, you know. He's like 11 or 12 now. Spent far too much of his life in kennels and has lots of problems. So, but he's a happy dog. He's a happy dog. Oh, definitely, Pete. On the bad days, he gets a lot of hugs. He gets a lot of hugs on the bad days. Yeah, for a dog with 2 bad hips, a bad spine, bad shoulder, 2 teeth, and dementia, he does pretty well. He does pretty well. He does need quite a lot of looking after, but, you know, that's what you get with rescuing old dogs. I've got a few more teeth than him, thankfully. And he's a bit greyer than I am, although I haven't shaved in mine are all real, thank you. I haven't shaved in about a week, and there's a lot more grey in there than I would like to admit. There's a lot more grey in there than I would like to admit. Let's try and be organised, because otherwise things are going to get a bit messy. Alright, so we need a windrower now, because I don't fancy picking it up 3 meters at a time. And I think that's going to be the one from the Vermeer pack. Or we've got that one, which is 6.5 meters and really, really cheap. And I know it works really well. I'm going to go for the Rotzel mash, because it's going to take up less space as well. And space might become an issue. I did say we had lots of shed space, but you can feel it becoming an issue, maybe, particularly if we do need to get a bigger tractor as well. We will see. So I have used this before. I have used this on my Whirling series that some of you saw, some of you didn't see because that was for patrons. I used, this is a part of a pack, and I used both parts of it. It should be okay. And it works really well. The only thing it doesn't do well is go backwards. But other than that, it seems to work pretty well. And they're really, really cheap, which is always good, even when you've got still the best part of 700 grand in the bank. I still like cheap. I wonder if we will see if we can get this windrowed and maybe mostly picked up. I'm only going to do about another 20 minutes. I think change into reverse. Let's go round, because otherwise that's going to be a real mess. I quite often find that vehicles don't want to go into reverse when I click change direction. And maybe that's me making life difficult for myself by having manual direction change selected. I don't know, but I find it really weird. So if I'm using the controller, I change it to automatic, and I find it really hard to, even when I've got the controller in my hand, to not reach down and hit the space bar. So yeah, I'm so used to it. I used it in fact, almost all of the way through playing FS19, all of the way through 22. That not using it is really hard to deprogram. Oh, we'll go around. I do like four-wheel steer. Something that would be nice would be rotting, because this road's going to get very messy. I hope there are no motorcyclists locally, because otherwise these grass clippings are going to cause some issues. There we go. Oh, there goes Joker again. And the sofa is free. Yeah, go on. Prime real estate for greyhounds. Very few humans in our house sit on the sofa. It is for the greyhounds. Occasionally the collies might get it if the greyhounds have decided they don't want it, but mostly for the greyhounds. What's quite amusing is when the new sofa was brought, it was paid for by Mrs. D's grandmother. We were told the dogs weren't allowed on it. We both laughed. Or we would, yeah, I think it was, you're not going to let the dogs on it, I think was the question. Where else are they going to sit? And it is quite funny because sometimes the teenager will sit on the floor rather than moving the dogs. Yeah, we're playing musical dogs at the moment. Everyone finds their new spot. Run up there. Get on a GPS track. And save us at least a pass, I guess. Maybe we're not going to get the edge of that last bit. We are. Excellent. Yep. Oh, I love it when button presses don't register. It would probably make sense, actually, to clear the headland off. So, let's buy our random little truck. Oh, we've got a front 3-point as well. That's quite cool. That's quite cool. We don't really need jewels. Yeah, let's go for that. And then we will get that. I'll get a silage additive tank just in case we do use it for silage. A funky little truck. That is a good point, Monarchs. This is the perfect zero grazing vehicle, isn't it? Bung the mower on the front. Oh, you are a genius, sir. You are a genius. Unfold. Let's go back a bit further. I really like that idea. That is a brilliant self-contained zero grazing setup, isn't it? Coming to every save I own. Maybe not, but that is very cool. 4-wheel steer. This has been a good little discovery. This is kind of what I wanted this to be about. Finding different stuff. Because I've got so stuck in doing the same things the same way. It's like, start cow farm. Buy the same stuff, pretty much, give or take, because you need to, and yeah, this is very different. Come on, come on. Capacity's not awful either. I guess the telling bit now is going to be, can we drop it in the hayloft? Should I guess if I can't pick this stuff up? Oh, I can. Awesome. So we can be responsible farmers and clear the road. That is very good. I was about to say, if not, it would be a good case for installing Tip Anywhere. But we don't need to. Just going to run this headland. And then we'll go empty. And then we'll pick up the rest of the stuff that we've got rowed up. And then we'll finish rowing it. But all this little 4-wheel steer stuff is also great for this little yard. It works. I was a little bit nervous about that because I had issues with some of the stuff on furling of not being able to unload into it. So, but that is brilliant. Thank you, Casa. I would be amazed if we have anywhere near 250,000 litres. So I'm going to be upset if we have, because it's going to take me forever. So that is great. I do not need to feed the sheep because they have 5,000 litres of food, and I say there's only 10 of them, so they should do fine. And I think probably the amount of land that they grazed should have got more than that off. So I think they should be okay for a bit. So what I'm hoping is that we can get hay made, whole crop silage made, grain grist made, before we have to worry about feeding them. So I've got hay done this time. Hopefully next time we can get the wheat field done. So get some of it silaged and the rest combined. And then mill the grain. And any excess grain we'll sell. The canola, I think, will probably just be sold straight out of the field. I don't think that other grain mill lets you mill canola into grain grist, but I don't remember. It's entirely possible it did. I don't have it installed on here yet. When the work gets more intense, you most definitely could. At the moment, I think I can cope with it. I say, because at the moment, there's no kind of schedule either. It's more a, I'll probably decide like 15 minutes before and go. Oh wow, we're full. Unless I can schedule something, because it's kind of a bit unfair to just suddenly go, oh, can you guys do... Particularly if I've not been organised and, done like sharing mods and stuff, so... And I also have every DLC active at the moment. At the very least, I need hay and forage and premium. Yes, you are all here, Mark, because you are all awesome. How else would we all be spending our Saturday nights? I really do appreciate you all being here. It's very nice to not be talking to myself. And it was really handy having the feedback and the suggestions on making it work. It would be much less enjoyable if I was just sat here talking to myself. When I first did this, back in the mists of time, when I thought I could do this playing that Battle Pirates game that I still occasionally play. We're kind of going off it a bit again. I'm getting a bit bored of it at the moment. I did used to do this talking to myself. Because no one would watch. So, yeah, that was that. It was much harder talking to yourself. Well, not, yeah, you know what I mean. Talking to no one was much harder. Sure, how can you both multitask? You're men. Men don't multitask. I've read this on the internet. It must be true. I would be listening to the radio while I was listening to the radio or YouTube whilst doing this if I wasn't doing this bit. But obviously I can't do that because that would be bad. Ah, so you didn't have to admit that bit. You didn't have to admit that you'd washed the tractor. Is it just because is it just because the tractors needed washing because it's FSG's server? And we all know he's really bad at washing stuff. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Are you really listening though, Pete? Really? Because that, I had to wash a sugar beet harvester by putting it in a river. And recovery was challenging, but I have realised now, actually, I don't know if it was a feature back then. What I needed to do was update the settings for the lumberjack mod and increase the lift limit to unlimited. And then I would have been able to pick it up. Because by default, that sneaky Loki doesn't make it heavy enough to pick up the really heavy things. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, Mark, you need to wash the underside of vehicles. I don't think you should if you get time to get on the Glenlathen save now, you probably shouldn't drive the new combine that you haven't seen yet, because there are hedges with collisions and it's bigger. I think I might have made a slight mistake on the size of the combine versus the width of the tracks. I do not have a 50-foot header, no. It's not quite 50 feet. But it's also not much narrower than the width of the track to get to the farm, as I have discovered about an hour and a half ago. And some hedges may or may not have been removed in the process of getting to the first field to be harvested. But that's what chainsaws are for. And yeah, it's only for one harvest on there, so it'll be fine. And I think actually, well, apart from if any of you guys get on to do multiplayer on there, I think I've only got 1 or 2 fields to combine, so it'll be fine. No, not that chainsaw. Actual chainsaw. Chainsaw. Right, we'll get all this cleared up, and I think that'll be a nice first little run at this. And then next time, we won't have the setup faff. Was I empty when I started that run, or part full? Because that's filled up very quickly. Very, very quickly. Yeah, Mark, I think the next map that we move to with that save is going to be probably bigger, probably more open. I would like to be able to go back to having 2 farms. So having a farm for you guys to do the contracting for the patrons, and then me having a farm, and possibly me not having a dairy again. Or maybe it being 1 farm, but it being more focused on arable farming. So yeah, it's going to be different. It's going to be different. So yeah, maybe it's more the you guys having your own space potentially. I think it worked quite well them actually being two farms because of the having the switch farm mod. The only bit that was a bit of a pain was when I wanted to record, having to remember to start it in multiplayer mode and just hosting it, having it as a local multiplayer when I recorded. It worked fine. It didn't cause me any performance issues, but I would occasionally forget and load up and it would suddenly merge the two farms and I'd have to close it and start again. But that did seem to work quite well, so. But there are many contracts again on Glenlarvan to be done because we are in a fresh month. But I'm not sure if it being a separate farm gave you guys a bit more freedom to do what you wanted as well, so. Which is probably a good thing. And it's kind of good to be back doing it, man. Like something that I want to do, something that's quite good fun once I start doing it. There's sometimes a bit of a mental hurdle in hitting the buttons to start doing it, so. But I enjoy it once I start. It's really weird. So. But particularly at the moment, it's like Mrs. D went to bed at like 5 o'clock this evening, so the evenings can get quite long, and it's kind of a way of chatting with some of you, so. Yeah, finding the time is sometimes hard. It's so with how Mrs. D's been lately, with going her sleeping a lot more. It's been a little. If this setup works, it's a little bit easier because I have time in the evenings. But yeah, I couldn't do it on just laptop. I needed a second screen, which is I'd been looking at, and then the one that I brought was, I think it was on sale on Amazon. So, and I wanted it for testing something else as well. So, because I'm starting to look for probably much later this year, upgrading my laptop. And they all now come with 16 by 10 screens rather than 16 by 9. And I wanted to check how that will affect me moving between computers, because my desktop has 16 by 9 screens, and so the second screen that I've got is 16 by 10. So means I can do some testing in advance, because almost every good modern laptop now seems to come with a 16 by 10 screen. So, and there aren't many 16 by 10 monitors. So. And I do flip between the two recording setups quite a lot. Can we see how we can? Cool. I think, Mark, with me just accepting all the contracts, that sort of works, but also, and this time I did give everyone a lot more permissions on the one farm, because there was when I accepted all of the baling contracts, it was a bit of a faff because people didn't have time to do all of the baling contracts, and it delivered against the wrong ones and stuff. So it's kind of easier if people can just pick and choose which ones they want to do, particularly with things like baling. So, but if you've got permissions to pick and choose, then that doesn't matter either, I guess. It would also be good if the better contract lazy farmers actually worked more regularly, because it doesn't seem to work very well on Glenarden. I had a whole load of contracts vanish today before I could accept them. Last little bit. And we will be done. And I'm really grateful that 10 of you have sat here, or 11, well, up to about 14 of you have sat here with me on Saturday evening and rambled away while I make some hay for our new collection of sheep. In our random little truck as Joker rolls upside down and chokes himself. That is a speedy little truck. I wonder if we've got any wool spawning yet. Kind of guessing not. Let's have a look. We have not. I'm guessing they are not healthy enough yet. No, not healthy enough yet. And it's good to see you back as well, Casa. Hopefully you're starting to feel a bit better as well. Yeah, that is us done. Yeah, as I said, there might be one of these tomorrow. There might not be one of these now for another week. There probably won't be any in the week this week because I'm not working at home any days this week, which kind of means that I can't do them during the week. So yeah, possibly tomorrow, if not, maybe next weekend. And then who knows from there. So thanks for watching, guys. It's been fun. And I will see you next time. Bye.